Alright, let's go into this famous combat phase. And I think our stats will be pretty decent. But look at this. I mean, this is a board. Hello everyone, it's Sloth here, and today deck that completely destroys red aggro deck. So if you hate losing to those hasty red creatures, this is one for you, and we will show you the stats. It will be fun. The deck is from best of 3. It's performing there very well, so I decided to test it in best of 1, and I'll tell you, it seems it's working as well. So we will talk more about this in the outro. So the idea for the deck is very simple. You have Leyline of Hope. It is free if it's in your opening hand. Instead of life gaining 1, you life gain 2 with all the Hawks, Sanctifiers, all this kind of stuff. And when you are at 27, all of your creatures gets a buff, which is very easy to do, even into red decks. And with Essence Channeler and Pridemate, those are the creatures that get +1/+1 counter for every time you life gain, and the rest of the deck is basically life gain. Linden is pretty amazing in this deck because whenever your creatures attack, you instantly gain life, which means it pumps Pridemate before basically trading happens. So this will grow so hard your opponent probably won't be able to trade against this. And because of Vigilance, it's a great target for Shelter by Ghost because it's pretty tough. Shock and Burst Lightning won't kill it. You are gaining life, you can attack and block at the same time, and yeah, I mean with Leylines it has insane stats, and of course Knight-Errant of Eos. And if you wonder why the Painant, because you can pain yourself, so Channeler gets Vigilance and Flying. And with that being said, let's crush some red aggro decks. I hope you'll have fun. Alright, we're going first. We don't have anything that takes advantage of the life gain, but you know, it's kinda okay. It's kinda okay, I think. I will go with the Sanctifier. It should give the same amount of life. So we need to go Vanguard into Bat on the next turn, so we get even more life gain. Yeah, I mean, we will get 2 nice life total. Hopefully it's some kind of red deck. So, yeah, I think they want to burn it right at the end step. So, we want to get damage first, right? I don't want to go for the Vanguard, I want to go for the Bat. Because if they kill it, we double Descent, which is nice. Or once Descent but double Scry. 1 free damage, nice. And we go double Bat because we expect removal, so we don't want to give them any cool targets. We life gain, we Descent when they kill something, and if they don't kill anything, they wasted 1 mana. And they're kinda behind on the board, to be honest. And then we go Linden and we start going crazy. It's a little bit shame that we don't have any Pridemates or Channelers, because that's how we get our value basically from the life gain. So we are definitely on the a little bit rough here spot. Hexproof and Haste. You know that it will be strong, but I think we can go around it. And we get so much life gain that I don't believe they can race us. Like, they need to answer our stuff probably, unless this is some crazy combo. We are 16 to 28, so it's looking great so far, and we have removal for anything they can, you know, try to sneak into the battlefield basically. Alright, Heartfire Hero. Sure, it will be scary, but how are they going to defend? This might be, you know, hexproof thingy. I literally forgot we have Leyline because I can never hit it. Alright, so we could get rid of the boots and get the Vanguard. I honestly think we go for it, because they cannot remove this for 1 mana. Even if they have Burst Lightning, like, there's nothing they can do. We hit the boots, suddenly Hero is way smaller than they wanted, and we go for the Vanguard for even more power. And when we hit land, we get this, and we get pump on every creature we play. So I think we are in a solid spot here. It's interesting. So definitely we can attack with Bats. Do we want to attack with this? Because they can pump it to probably what? 4/4 easily. And they can trade against this, getting boots back. We get the lifelink. I'm not sure. Do we trade? Linden is such a good value in this deck. And they cannot target her. I think we literally go like this. because this is 4 life gain, so it still gets us a little bit ahead. And moment we hit any Pridemate or Channeler, Linden is absolutely extremely powerful, because then we get a +5/+5 instantly on top of all the other synergies. So this gets basically Pridemate to instantly 10/10, and that can try to fight against Boros creatures. You know, just the 2 mana 10/10, it's close to being good enough. They probably don't really want to attack because they will never kill us, and we force them to defend, and that means that double strike doesn't exist. Oh, they actually go for it. Sure. Show me the worst of it. 6 damage. I'm actually kinda happy because now I can attack with Linden easily. And I don't think they got anything out of this. And we don't really get anything here. What could be the pump spell? What could be the pump spell? I really think it's hexproof thing. I cannot think of anything for single... Oh, Monstrous Rage. Right, they can trade against this. But if they invest Monstrous Rage, I'm fine with it. So I think we attack this, this, and this not, because it's not good enough. They will probably get the boots, but I'm fine with it. Like, I think we need to push the tempo a little bit more. So if they don't keep this for defense, we need to punish it a little bit. And Monstrous Rage is still a lot of investment just to save their stuff. Now we go for this, we get to close to 40. I would love to hit this and win the game instantly. Or, you know, start the game with this, like a solid mono-red player with red Leyline, just getting wins on turn 2. However, we need to work for it. It's the worst spot because we are literally on 3 mana, and 1 more mana and we win the game. If we draw Pridemate or Channeler, we probably win the game. But we are just whiffing on all of those, so that's why the game is still going on, basically. So what about this one? I mean, we just take the damage, we need to burn through it. We basically need to raise them. I'm only on 35 right now, so against red decks it's close to being dead, but I think we are fine. Yep, keep those 1-drops. Alright, alright. Now they open all the mana, which is very interesting. I'll be honest, I think what we are doing here is just going for the bats. Because I think they now... So I think they bluffed on the next turn, and they realized that we can actually attack this into the mouse, and now they left more mana so they can pump it. And now they expect us to attack with this. But we are getting so much life gain. Like, I think we life gain around 7 a turn right now. Maybe even 8. And don't forget, moment we hit the 4th land for Leyline, we instantly win because all the bats will be super huge. And I think even with double strike on 4/4 mouse and all the mana open, they cannot deal more than like 15-20 damage, which is nothing for us. Like, bro, 20 damage, it's just a start. Like, it will get us to starting damage. Alright, they cannot go for Linden, then they can go for Sheltered. Let's see what the target is. They can try to get the boots back. But they are close to that. Like, they actually don't have flyers right now. But they will probably go for... Yeah. So, this is interesting. They went for flyers. And the problem is that now they will live gain with double strike. Like, insane amounts. So they get back... So if I block with this, I actually have the live gain. So then they will be at 11. If we pump this... They don't have trample here. They might have, but I'm not sure. I think we roll with this. We try to hit Leyline. I think it's still okay, right? Yeah, we will be at 27. So we actually perfectly get this. Let's go. It's a little bit late, but I think it should be still good enough. The fun interaction is they can burst lightning our face, and that will disable the thing. Because we are not playing creatures. However, we attack with Linden and all the creatures, and then we get the pump. I told you, moment we hit the 4th land for the Leyline, the game is basically over. Now we can swing all. We get so much life gain, and I mean, they need to defend against it. We'll see, maybe they have something, you know, in their sleeve. It's what? 12, 16 damage, so they're actually not that on board yet. But now we still get huge advantage with this. By the way, we played the whole game without a single Pridemate or Channeler, which is the whole reason for this deck. What? They could block with mouse. Oh boy. Alright guys, we are the Leyline player. I will just smash those Leylines in the board like there's no tomorrow, and then I have like 2 cards on turn 2. Let's go. So yes, submit 2. Easy, easy, and that's basically my whole. Oh my god, this will be interesting. This will definitely be interesting. So every creature right now is... Oh, I knew it will be a land. Like when you start with 3, you have no value, you know this will be another one. So honestly, this draw is close to losing us game, because we were already in very bad spot regarding creatures. We need to get like 1 or 2 extra creatures so we can Knight of Eos, and that thing fixes everything. Listen, what can I even do here? On the bright side, on the next turn we can literally play Knight of Eos. I'm not sure exactly what the deck is. I think it's this new Jazz guy with, you know, Oculus. So we are extremely slow here. I think we missed our spot to win the game based on those draws. We needed something for, you know, 1-2 mana. Bro, no way. Like we literally drew nothing but lands this game. Alright. Alright, I see it. We won't talk about any entities here. It's just, this could happen like on the last turn if our draw was a little bit better, or even I think 2 turns ago was also possible with perfect draw. And look how much different the board would be. So we are literally losing in the board just by playing creatures right now. But with second Knight-Errant of Eos, we can completely change the strategy. Instead of being aggro, we will try to outvalue them with double Leyline. Like, double Leyline was great, but not after we didn't have any creatures that life gain in our creature life gain deck. Alright, let's go Scholar. The Oculus will be a huge problem, so we need... When they hit Oculus, we already need to have full board of creatures. That's how we need to do. And this... I'm not sure what the oops is. Let's assume that it's a nice oops. And this is the first turn when we did our thing a little bit. Alright. And I still will go for... Is there anything I can draw? I can draw Vanguard. So this is not the right tap. 1, 2, 3, 4. We are not attacking with those. If I tap this, I can hit Knight-Errant of Eos. I have 2 in the whole deck. So the chance to draw this is pretty low. Do I want to attack and push damage? Yep, I really want to. I think it's worth it. And that was correct decision. And we have enough life gain probably. I think we go double Pridemate. Because we have those Vanguards. So they help a lot. We are at 22. But I think with double Pridemate, we can literally like crush our way through their defenses. Because our creatures will simply be bigger. They don't have this kind of scaling. And I think they know about it, so they are trying to be aggressive. Unsummon. I hope they play the land. Yep, alright, so they cannot play it. That's super important. At least now. So that's a lot of damage, but I think it's fine. Now we go this into this. The bats are a bit hard to use, but I think we will manage. We need to get those Pridemates. Yep. And I mean, this is a lot of life gain. And now the double Leyline is starting to, really shine. Yep, here we go, man. Trigger. We cannot attack with everything. I think we need to... 9 damage a turn is a lot. 9 damage a turn is a lot. I think we need to wait 1 more turn. Because unfortunately we gave them so much time that they actually managed to get Scholar to 5/5, which outvalue, it outscales our Knight of Eos. Fear of missing out. We need to be careful because they can get a lot of damage and soon they will get the Cura token. It actually won't be as huge as Pridemate, but it's close. This will be scary, man. I wish we didn't miss those 2 turns. Like our opponent basically time walked like twice. And that's why it's even. So we need to really get something going. Linden would be amazing because then Pridemates grow by attacking. Like the fact that we cannot block this is a little bit awkward. We won't get probably the bats with flying to match this because they can always use the memory. Alright. Nothing on... Oh, what? 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 Alright, I guess they wanted this really bad. Alright, I'll take the trade. Can we live gain somehow? Not really. Yeah, this is the only block that makes sense, right? We could try to pump everything. I think if we go like this, we should be able to activate double Leyline, so that should help a lot. I think this is worth it. I should count normally, but I want to play a little bit faster, so I won't count. I think it should be enough with double Vanguard, or triple Vanguard actually. Alright, let's go into this famous combat phase. And I think our stats will be pretty decent. But look at this. I mean, this is a board. And I tell you, even they got 3 extra, like 2 turns, and we still outscaled them so hard. This is a bit of a wonky hand. We don't have anything that gets value from the life gain. However, we have a lot of life gain, so... Okay, alright. Okay, this is important. We won't have 3 creatures on the next turn, so I think we go Sanctifier first. I mean, this can life link. This is a little bit better, right? They don't have flyers, probably. So I want this one because we definitely won't block the Scavenger, and this only life gains. This deals 1 damage and also life gains, so it's a little bit better. It's a little bit better. And then we go Sanctifier, Vanguard, Vanguard. Oh man, they actually went for this kind of play. This is something I did not fully expect. Like, usually, it's not like you cannot do this, but usually aggro players are super aggressive. Alright, so I think we go double Sanctifier on this turn. Because that gives us a little bit of life gain. Let's see if they have the best card of their deck, Shelter by Ghost, and the only reason this deck even exists, together with the Hexproof thing. They have 2 mana open. No way they have everything. Okay, no Shelter by Ghost is extremely good for us. So I will take this 3 damage for sure, no blocks. And now we need to go super, insanely hard. And this one, I mean, we don't have a way to pain ourselves. But man, when it dies, we get the counter, so it's really nice, honestly. I think we go with this one, because when it dies, it basically translates all the value to different creature. Pridemate doesn't do this. And now we have Vanguard, which is also nice, and as you can see, we can actually go so hard above them. But Shelter by Ghost is a thing, but I hope they don't have it. And if this is the last card, I will quit. So we could attack with both. I don't think they can kill us on 1 turn, right? They could double block, but that means they're trading. I will still go for the attack. I still want to push them. Yep, good call, good call. Of course you can mitigate 1 of the damage, and the last card will decide it. If that's Shelter by Ghost, I won't be happy. If that's anything else, I'm super fine with it, because I don't think they can beat us. Like, our creatures are just simply so much stronger than theirs. And so how do we do it? First we go this, so we get all the synergies from the Vanguard, and as you can see, those creatures are getting pretty massive right now. Oh my god, this does not end, and this will be like 14 power, I think. Or yep, they're out. They don't even want to see this. Alright, our opponent is going first. I think we are okay with it. Our hand is pretty solid. It's not perfect. We don't have Leyline, but it's pretty strong overall. We go with Sanctifier and check for cutdowns. Oh, here they are. A good Magic player, just drawing those cutdowns on turn 1. Like, the difference between drawing cutdown and not drawing cutdown in this situation is absolutely massive. So for example, now we cannot Shelter by Ghost anything, we cannot Pridemate with Synergy, so we basically got broken the whole interaction, and of course land from the top. So it started very well. Those 2 cards in a row made us in very bad spot, to be honest. So how we have to go for the 2-drop. I will go with Pridemate first, because, like, of course this can transfer the counters when it dies, but not when it dies as the alone creature in the board. So that's a swing. They probably have plenty of removal. I would expect 1 or 2 removal spells still. Oh my god, they have the best one as well. Alright, I expected land from the top. I'll be honest, I was sure this would be land, and again, let's go with the bat. And I will try to pass the turn to make them think that we gave up the turn. It's not, you know, big play, but sometimes it might, you know, get your opponent to remove the wrong thing. If they remove Channel, at least we get the Scry from Descent, right? So, you know, there's that. There's that. What? Oh, they did it during the end step. Man, I have to say, our opponent's hand is absolute fire. Like, even if we play 4 cut downs, you usually don't draw like this. And here's the land I was talking about. So yeah, basically this game is I'll be honest, this is like an auto loss, basically. Like, there's not much you can do here. You just got the wrong cards and you will scoop. So that's one of the reasons I usually don't play aggro decks, because it feels like the whole gameplay that you have is based on drawing opening hand, and if you draw wrong, you lose. So we are forced to block here. At least we tried, which is something, I guess. But there's no way to recover. There are no decisions that will get you ahead. There's nothing you can do. You just basically scoop. Bloodletter alone will win this game, and Slasher will be back in 2 turns. If we draw something like Pridemate, I mean, I cannot imagine winning this game in any way. But we'll prove it. We'll prove it. And this extra land that we drew, like, we are even with this deck, and we play, I think, 4 or 5 lands less, so that's already really bad for us. So we need to basically keep tanking this damage. Oh my, like, come on, like, there's no point. This was an auto loss. But I will take it, because there is a chance that we can go really high with this. And Knight of Eos is the reason I went with this. But very bad hand. Right now we literally cannot play anything. Like, there is no spell that we can play with this hand. So all is about those 1-drops from the top. But we have plenty of those. Appreciate it, man. And this, oh my god, I cannot believe how much work this Vanguard has to do. Like, this is one Vanguard against the world, basically. Alright, I'm so happy it's not burst. Okay, with this, might be a chance. Of course, we cannot block. Absolutely cannot block. Alright. You know what? We're getting somewhere. Man, it's so slow. It's so slow. I mean, this gets the live gain, so I'll take it. And with Leyline, of course, it's 2 live gain. Oh man, this is close, but I can see us winning this, thanks to drawing 1-drop and land. This is painful, but it means that they don't make too much progress in the board, and that was one of their best cards. This damage hurts. Leyline is just trying to keep us afloat. I'm not playing Shelter because I need to play this on the creature they cannot remove. The Painland hurts a little bit as well. Let's keep pumping a little bit. Let's see what they will go for. I need to tank their full burst and then Shelter by Ghost and reverse the game. That's the game plan. And with Bat we will get to 3 creatures, so Vanguard will double live gain. Like, once with Linden and once with, you know, the passive. Oh boy. I think I know what I will Shelter. Bro, come on, the disrespect. Live gain deck against Nemesis. Bro, I'm not casting it, alright? I'm not casting it. Alright, I think with this we might win. We go on Nemesis, of course. And now, the Vanguard and the Greater Versa. Oh, the live game will be pretty wild with this. And we can attack with everything. We actually want to trade here. I was scared that they have 3 power in total, but they do not. Which means we get live gain. Oh man, we are going back 24. And now they need land into Lightning Strike, and that's the only way they can win, I think. If they cannot remove Linden, I think we've got this. And on the next turn, we will have so much live gain that they won't be able to burst. Oh boy, I need to live gain somehow. This, and I think we go with the Bat. I cannot attack with Linden, right? But we'll attack with something. We will live gain enough that our creatures will be huge, because we get to 26, 28, and then we attack twice. I'm not going for Knight of Eos. It's great, but not here. Like, we need to push. And in 2 turns, our board will be unbeatable for them. And we already got enough life gain, so Nemesis, when they play, it's not a scare anymore. I still will go with it, I think. I'm not going with this because they can probably trade. I'm doing it mostly for the live game. Alright guys, this is a very straightforward hand and it's extremely powerful, so it should be great. Let's go. So it has to be Sanctifier probably. No, I actually want to start dealing damage. I don't expect it to die, so I will use the cooler one. Because they basically do the same thing, but this one scries as well. So if you expect it to live, you want the better one basically. Flank, nice. Alright, I'll take it. I'll take it. So we go with Channeler, I think. Well, the second one might die. But we still get at least one counter, so I think it's enough extra value to basically risk the better card. Alright, alright. Our opening is very strong, but we have absolutely zero follow-up and we don't have the Leyline. Yep, as expected. So far we are basically playing perfectly exactly as we expected. Let's see if that will be good enough. And we are dealing some damage already. I think we go for Sanct... Oh man, but this is so much value. Alright, I think we go with this. Like, come on, this is such a good value. It's already a 4-4, and if they answer it, they cannot answer the rest probably. At least not that easy. Not as easy. Alright, if they remove Pridemate, it will hurt like an absolute rock. But I hope they don't. I think they will. Like, second removal is kinda expected here, so... This is a risky play, but I think it's still the best play. Even if we lose Pridemate, it was worth the risk. And that also means they cannot remove the rest of the cards, so, you know, it's something. But I would love it to leave. Yeah, I think that's the case, because I'm right now considering if I played Pridemate first, then the Pridemate would die with one counter, and then now we would have Channeler with two counters, so it would be a little bit better. But this bat would be 1-1, so the life total would be higher and we would have less life gain. So it's not a big difference, but maybe it would be like a little bit better. You know they have something. What can it be? What can it be? 3 damage to something? Oh, I think they can sacrifice it maybe. I'm not sure, I'm not risking it. I'll just take 1 damage. So normally if I didn't care about winning, I would take it just for educational purposes to know what exactly they had in mind. But if the best case scenario for them is getting 1 extra damage, I don't care. Like, it's not relevant. It's better to not take any risks. There's always card that does something that you've never seen, you know? I really like Shelter by Ghost here. Alright, good. Because if I played Shelter by Ghost on Pridemate, they could land into removal and would actually lose all of our advantage, basically. And they would get the braids up and they would win the game. So I wanted to shelter a bat or something, so we split the damage, basically. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed today's games. We won't make too long of an outro because the deck is very straightforward, but we'll talk about the stats and, you know, I will talk about some feelings after playing with the deck because it actually surprised me in some ways. But before we go there, a huge thank you for our patrons for supporting the content and, you know, just helping us to make those videos every single day so we can continue our journey through Standard. And if you have ever wanted to say thank you or help the channel, I mean, that's the best way to go about it and you get some perks, so it's also very nice. So honestly, about the deck first, I kind of liked it a little bit more than I expected because of those like cool triggers, ley lines, Shelter by Ghost, and, you know, just having all those life gain synergies with growing Channel and Pridemate is actually pretty fun. And Knight-Errant of Eos gives you this burst of cards that is so fun. You play Knight-Errant of Eos, then you play, you know, like Vanguard, and suddenly everything grows before the combat happens. It's very important because, like, you need to realize a big difference between like the Hawk and the Vanguard. Hawk grows your Ajani Pridemates and Channelers after it hit the face. It also means that it needs to, like, you know, attack and can be blocked and traded against. However, Vanguard doesn't need to attack, it just needs to be there. It also can life gain through Summoning Sickness. So, for example, before you get any value from Hawk, you actually need to play it, wait 1 turn, then hit your opponent's face, and then you get a +1 counter. Wow, crazy. However, you play triple Vanguard, and on the same turn you already get triple +1/+1, even though they cannot attack. So this is a very different type of effect, and Vanguard is extremely good, like surprisingly good in this deck. Linden is pretty amazing for the same reason. The triggers happen before the trading happens. I think the big drawback of the deck is that you only have Shelter by Ghost as a removal, but for aggro decks it is kinda the norm, because at least here you can scale those creatures so hard that it's your opponent who needs to remove creatures. However, it's always, you know, this kind of wars between who draws more Shelter by Ghost if you are, you know, seeing like Boros or something like this. Leyline kinda can be inconsistent, of course, as, you know, by default by Leyline, but I kinda like it. Even if you draw it later, it's just 4 mana that pumps your creatures, and honestly this is a pretty solid anthem, like 3 mana +1/+1, 4 mana +2/+2. It's not the worst, but of course you want to hit in the hand. Sometimes you will hit two of them, and you basically need to rely on, you know, good draws so you can draw those life gain effects, because very often you just have Leyline slants and like one Knight of Eos or something. But the deck is pretty fun, and it seems to pierce through the red decks. And for the stats, we actually never lost to any red deck, including like Boros and typical red deck. You need to be careful of Nemesis, because this card completely ruins your whole strategy, and then you need to raise. However, the fact that you can basically have bigger creatures than your opponent means they cannot attack into you. If you Shelter by Ghost any of the, you know, pump creatures, you basically can life gain 10, 15 easily. So you can literally force them with sheer power of your creatures just to defend, and that's pretty crazy. So I really enjoyed it. And unfortunately on the other matchups, deck can be slow. However, you still have, like, if you have good opening with good pump, it's still solid, but I feel that whenever your Pridemate and Channeler gets removed, like, those are the real cards that scale your deck. If you don't get those, or you get 1 or 2 and they get removed instantly by Go for the Throat and Nowhere to Run, your deck is way weaker and suddenly doesn't have this huge pump effect. Then you need to rely on Leylines to pump your board. So it's still doable, but it feels like it's way harder. And yeah, I mean, Knight-Errant of Eos is always your friend. Play those 1-drops. Cool thing about Knight-Errant of Eos and 1-drops is that you can play them, and basically it doesn't waste you mana, because you pay 1 mana to get this creature, then you convoke and you get this 1 mana back. So you can play 5 creatures, play Knight-Errant of Eos for free. Whenever you play more expensive creatures, suddenly you need to decide whether you play Knight-Errant of Eos on this turn or you wait 1 turn for setup, and that's a huge difference. So guys, that's kinda it. That was your aggro review of you know, Sloth playing an aggro deck. So I hope you liked it. It's probably one of the more enjoyable aggro decks right now, and it seems to be pretty much crushing red decks, which are the most popular. So we ranked up, we went 5-3, I believe, and all the games we lost were against non-red decks. And I think, like, even like Zultai Reanimator, you just need to have a good hand. Basically, it's the test who has the better and faster opening. Both of you win on turn 4, and whoever starts with better hand will win. So it's a bit of a dice roll. So I hope you liked it. Tell me in the comments if you enjoyed some aggro gameplay. And yeah, that's about it, and see you guys tomorrow.
With